at 17th of Christmas or 17th of December, we should have seen a cheerier note, a more welcoming note, a happier note, you know. But in our present day Nigeria, the 17th day of Christmas is looking very bleak, with Nigerians questioning what they're here. You can call me this morning to tell me the green prices for commodities and goods in your area this morning. Because in as much as we all have different economic capacities, a lot of us still need help. So please, if your locality, especially in Enugu, and you can give us prices within your area about certain things like eggs and rice and beans and vegetable oil and red oil, things like that. Tell us the price of chicken and turkey. If you have any contacts as to areas where we can find cheaper food this season, please point us to that direction, because we must look out for each other in these times. Turns out we're all working so hard so that we can at least feed ourselves. That has become the common goal for the everyday Nigerian. My name is Mavis Atodume. We are live on YouTube at High Voltage News. Please like, subscribe, and share. And you can also call live into the studio this morning. Let's do newspaper reviews together. Let's analyze and share opinions on what we understand by the moves and the activities of those we have given power in their hands. All right, you can call 0706 048 5853. You can also call 0915 570 8347, and you'll be live with me this morning in the studio. The phone lines are immediately open. I believe all of us are on to what's really going on. Inflation is up once again. Just last week, we all celebrated how it has come down, and our employment level has gone up higher than that of Canada's. All right, so we fluctuate with the ceremonies that we have here. One day we are having a good time, the next day it looks like we just made a mockery of the day before. That is our case in the present day Nigeria. I'm sure we've had worse. I don't know. Who can tell these days? Who knows what's worse and what's normal anymore? We don't know what's normal in this country anymore. Everything we have seen here seems normal. Because, I mean, if they weren't normal, they wouldn't be happening. But apparently, they are a part of our system, so we all have to deal with it. Well, let me take you straight to the Punch newspaper so that you will hear from the horse's mouth. 2025 budget. FEC orders final adjustments as Tinubu presents budget on Wednesday. So we will be watching out and looking out to see what's up with this budget. We have been trying to see what it contains, but we haven't been able to grab any of the documents just yet. Apparently, there are still adjustments to be made, but tomorrow, Nigerians and every other person will find out what's in the budget and what the plan is for 2025, because we are curious to know. 2024 was no joke, except you haven't been in this country, but 2024 was one of the most challenging years in this country. History will remember this year as the year Nigerians completely did not understand what was happening with her country. This will be the beginning of that story. 2024, the year that we did not know our left from our right. That's what's going to happen. That's what history is going to remember this year for. If you remember everything that you know that has happened this year politically to this country, then you would know that 2025 is a year we should all be very careful with, especially those in power. This goes to the central and to the governors and to the newly installed local government chairmen. Local government chairmen all over Nigeria, newly installed with their new powers that the federal government is fighting so hard to help them retain. In as much as the governors are putting up resistance, the central is working hard to give full autonomy to you local government chairmen. So we are expecting to see some changes in the coming year. Moving forward, NNPCL supported Dangote Refinery and its establishment with $1 billion in loan, says official. Which one? You can find out on the news channels this morning. All right. The nation is in darkness. Serial grid collapse. Huge debts. Vandalism hinders Tinubu's 15,000 megawatts target. All right. Serial grid collapse. Huge debts. Vandalism hinders Tinubu's 15,000 megawatt target. There seems to be a lot of problems emanating since we started complaining about your scale of preference in terms of things to do. All of a sudden, we're having all of these huge debts that need paying off so desperately. And to think that we are borrowing money to pay off debts that we owe, that's something that's weird. This national grid has received more money than a casino in the past few years. What's happening with this grid? Vandalism with our national grid. Who is vandalizing our national grid? And what has the security agencies have to say about this? We've heard about the Lukarawas in the north taking over some of these power stations. Is that what you mean? And if that is what you mean, what are we going to do about it? You're telling us you have all the powers. You have enough powers. You mediate peace in the Middle East. You have enough powers. You're brokering deals with powerful countries. Are you saying that the Lukarawas, whom you told us, have only 32 members? And it's not enough for Nigerians to worry themselves about. Are they the same people who are holding down these power stations and making sure that Nigeria remains in darkness, especially the north? I don't know. I'm just asking the questions. That's my job. All right. That's enough that we can take on the punch this morning. Let's move over to Vanguard News and see what's going on over there. The signs of our poverty have started to show very brightly and clearly. Killer bread. Nigerians risk cancer over use of bromate, says researchers. I can remember the last times that I heard this campaign about bromate and its usage. We have seen stories coming out from Lagos. We've seen stories coming out from different parts of the north where, because they cannot afford flour, the going rate of flour these days is super expensive. So bakers have gone back to using bromate. I remember when this was a huge problem in the 90s where people were being sensitized to stop purchasing products that had bromate in them, especially bread. Now we're back on this story because the going rate for bread these days is from 1,600 naira upwards. That's the truth. And you know what? Our highest currency cannot purchase a loaf of bread in this country right now. And the people who are in power have gone on absolute oblivion. Everybody is quiet and silent and reporting all these beautiful achievements that their governments are making. This goes for state governments, this goes for federal government. Everybody is doing all these wonderful things. The president has gone to France, whom, by the way, is undergoing some sort of political misunderstanding that I don't understand. Macron being pinched in different levels. I don't even want to go into that story because that's a story for another day. And then we had this business with Saudi Arabia. And of course, Saudi Arabia is beginning to have their own weird squabbles as well. These are all signs. Signs of what? I don't know. But hey, we're back to bromate and cancer. For people like us, can we handle cancer? Well, we are ill-equipped to treat malaria. Can we deal with cancer at this rate? The poverty is mind-blowing. If you will give the bakeries subsidies, I agree, so that Nigerians can feed. Can you do that? Can you subsidize the bakeries? Subsidize the bakeries. Tell us that bread is for 1,000 naira. Can you take some shame away from us? Can you do that? The average Nigerian family finds it difficult to have breakfast. Breakfast in Nigeria literally costs 2,000 because our roadside meals, you can't purchase that with 1,000. Nigeria Buka system has undergone an upgrade. So for the cheapest meal, you have to pay 1,500 so that you can eat and have the energy to continue to labor, to work, to be productive, to be responsible, to not commit crime. With the level of unemployment, there is too much silence for the things that matter. There is too much running around for the things that are unimportant around here. The leaders of this country are pretending not to know what her immediate problems are. You're pretending that Nigeria is too big to experience hunger problems, but in reality, we are not. You're taking us back to that place where we now labor to feed. You've taken us back there. Around 2020, Nigerians were coming out of that place where we were solely dependent on feeding ourselves. That wasn't our problem in 2020, but something happened. And we've been taken back to a place where we are all talking about food every day. And I can assure you, this is not a good sign. Moving forward on the Vanguard this morning, the Naira has appreciated to 1,660 Naira in the parallel market. We told you this yesterday. If you keep up with the Volt FM news, you would know that we make it a point of duty to tell you what the going rate for the monies are every day to aid transaction, to aid mental consciousness. Moving forward, alleged defamation. I didn't send anybody to beg. Okay, says Babalola. Okay, this is said by Farotimi. So he says that he didn't send anybody to beg Afe Babalola on his behalf, says Dele Farotimi. This includes Peter Obi and a few other activists and other concerned Nigerians who visited Afe Babalola to find out what it was that Dele Farotimi needed to do, or how they needed to come to some sort of consensus. And Dele is saying that he didn't ask anybody to make that move. All right, moving on. Tinubu congratulates Lockman and Nadoze Super Falcons on CAF award to Nigerians, winning that prestigious award that Africans haven't won in a long time. I heard. I'm not good with the sports, but I'm sure you guys all talked about it with the Vote FM guys this morning. All right, well, I think that's the much that we can take from the Vanguard this morning. Let's see if there are important things that we can grab from the Daily Post. All right. First on the news from the Daily Post this morning, tough festive season awaits Nigerians amid untamed inflation spike. Are they asking us or are they telling us? Whoa, we're surprised. Shockers. You would think. You would think. Is this supposed to... Why are you telling us this? All right, let's move forward. Nigerians fought for you, Pastor Adegboyega to Kemi Badenoch. Why are they so pissed off with her? I don't understand. Why is everybody so mad at her? What's the problem? Sounds like if the shoe fits, sort of situation. Why is everybody so mad at her for saying that, recounting her experience? So is it a look but don't say situation that we have here? You can have your life go to shambles, but God forbid you speak about it. Now you're disrespectful and you're ungrateful. It's weird the way we comprehend things here. Moving forward, Tinubu appoints 8 new permanent secretaries for Federal Civil Service. All right, congratulations to the new appointees. All right, moving forward, military alone won't solve Nigeria's insecurity. This is coming from Reps Speaker Abbas Yusuf. Military might, okay, so military might alone won't solve Nigeria's insecurity problems. That is why we engage the prayer warriors. Have you thought about that? Put the prayer warriors to work. Let them pray down the Holy Ghost, and we will set the country free as soon as possible. Get the churches to pull out the prayer warriors, because the military alone won't solve Nigeria's insecurity problem. We need God to step in at this point, because everybody is helpless about this insecurity. Especially when everybody else is interested in other things and nobody cares about the insecurity anyways. So moving on, pension administrators are to start refund of 7.5 in Niger State. All right, moving forward, I don't collect tithes and offerings, says Pastor Toby Adeboyega. Who knows why? Probably they have dragged him, and now he's putting up all this defense. But who doesn't take tithes and offerings? I'm just asking. If there's a new one where we are not paying these levies, please do contact me. I would like to know. Moving forward, 2027, you can't fly. Wait till 2030. Joe Ibokwe tells Atiku Abubakar. Can you people have mercy on that guy and leave him alone? Geez, it's getting really tiresome. Can we give him like some award, honorary, how do you say, honorary presidential seat or something, like something? He needs to take a chill pill. We're having serious conversations here, sir. It's great. He's a wonderful statesman, but this story is old. This story is old, especially since people like him have not done us any good, really. We've tried, assumed veterans like him, we've given them a try with our democracy. We've given people like him who have been in our politics way too long, we've given them a try. You have been running this system. Atiku Abubakar, you have been in this system. For the past 40 to 50 years of your life, you have been doing this. What other changes can you people effect if in all the times you had all the opportunities to do all of these things, you couldn't do them? What is so wonderful that's going to happen now? Coming from former President Muhammadu Buhari. Now we have President Tinubu. And Atiku still wants another chance. What do you people want? Do you want to tear us hands and arms? Can we try something else? This is exhausting. Can we try something else? Can we try someone who actually likes this country for once? It will be a good place to start. Someone who cares. 0706-048-5853. Also call 0915-570-8347 to be a part of the program. The phone lines are completely open. You can send us a text message on those numbers. You can also send us a WhatsApp message on those numbers. And you can join us live on YouTube to have an interface. It's High Voltage News. We are live. Good morning. Greetings. Hello, good morning. All right, apologies about that. You can always try the second number. We have two numbers for you, 0706-048-5853. Also call 0915-570-8347. I think that's the much we can grab on the national dailies this morning. Let's go to our investigated stories. Inflations have increased 34.60% now, as of now, 16 hours ago, reported. Anti-Graft Commission EFCC arrests 148 Chinese and 40 Filipinos and others in Lagos in a major cryptocurrency fraud. It is said to be the most arrest that has been done in this country ever. Too many people at the same time arrested for cryptocurrency fraud in Lagos. turns out there are lots of international participators in this one. Moving forward, it's still the story, but different reports from Nigerian stories. Just in, the EFCC has arrested 792 suspected crypto fraudsters in Lagos. This is their biggest arrest in a day. All right, moving forward, the Supreme Court has dismissed the lawsuit filed by Ambrose Owuru, the presidential candidate from the Hope Democratic Party, seeking to remove President Tinubu from office. Now, the court also issued a fine of 5 million. And in addition to the 5 million naira penalty, the Supreme Court has instructed its registry to reject any further frivolous suits originating from Owuru. All right, this particular headline has caused a ruckus on the internet, with Nigerians implying that it seems the president took himself to court. We don't know how this works, but you can understand why that is, looking at the judiciary and her body language, and looking at all that we have seen, all the drama. It seems to be a lot of facade. But the Supreme Court has given a 5 million naira fine to Ambrose Owuru, who sued that the president be removed from office. That's that story. Let's see if there are more from the investigated stories. I don't know if you remember the young boy named Sylvester Oromoni. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. My Yoruba has left me a long time ago. Sylvester Oromoni, all right? He's a 12-year-old boy. He was bullied, bitten, and given a substance to drink by 5 other students aged between 14 and 16, which led to his death. Now, he was schooling at Darwin College with these other students. These were students in Darwin College, all of them together. And they bullied Sylvester so much that he lost his life. There were videos on the internet, there were proof as to what had happened. Those kids were guilty of that offense, but for some reason, they were granted bail and the charges put behind, and Darwin School continued. I remember telling you 2 weeks ago that Sylvester Oromoni's mother passed away because of this situation. She died of trauma from losing her son. This brings me to the conversation I had with you here last week when I told you that bullying is not a God-given character. Bullying is something that children learn from people of power around them. Who are the people of power around children? Parents, guardians, the adults around. Children do a lot of sponging when they are very young. So your nasty behaviors, your terrible behaviors are being replicated in your children. You better watch the things that you're doing. Watch the way you're treating your spouse. Watch the way you treat your neighbors, the people around you. Your children are watching. For a very moralistic environment, for people who claim to be very godly, the behaviors that come out of here are quite baffling. You would think that these behaviors will come from people who are badly behaved, or who do not go to church, or who do not have religion, or who do not embrace morals and moral standards. But on paper, we do have a lot of moral standards here. There are so many things we will not do on paper because of our different religious beliefs. But outside that, why are stories like this coming out? For a moralistic environment, why can't you buy food at a time of moral celebration? The churches have gone completely silent now that Nigerians are hungry, but you all had a lot to say during the elections. You did. You told us who would win, what they would do, and how God would save our dear nation through them. Now you are all silent.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. How are you?
Greetings.
Okay. My name is Amos Chuku.
You're
I'm
welcome.
reaching you in Zagu, initial local government area of Ebonyi State.
You're welcome.
Okay. And you said something about national grid collapse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay. You know, in Nigeria we have a systematic corruption, and that is why you see all these things happening. And even those in the helm of affairs, they are not perturbed by all these developments.
Mm.
Because if they are worried about all these happenings in Nigeria, I don't think we should be having all these grid collapse. How many times this year? About 12 of them.
Oh
12
yes,
times.
we've had the 12th one.
Okay, 12th one.
Yes, this week.
And every year we hear budget. Government do without trillions and billions of naira as budget.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But these are not reflective. Because even the government they go out to borrow,
Mm-hmm.
and they still they don't even invest with all this money that they go out to borrow.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me?
I'm here.
So it's a very worrisome dimension in Nigeria that all this is happening.
It is.
Our leaders are not accountable at all. Because if you go to their private homes, those so-called leaders, they have their private plants running. They don't depend on the public power source.
No, they
right?
don't. No, they don't.
They don't depend on that. That is why you see this happening in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
They are not perturbed at all. Okay? And what I want to say this man is just like a voice from the wilderness. To develop Nigeria is not a rocket science. They go out there,
Mm-hmm.
they visit Western countries. They know how life used to be overseas. But when they come over there, I don't think immediately they cross over the Atlantic Ocean, they drop everything they saw or they see from the overseas and begin to live a normal Nigerian life. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the Nigerians, we are being impoverished by successive governments. And it seems as if they have been masqueraded the Nigerians
Mm-hmm.
by weaponizing poverty. Okay?
Yes.
Making our systems not to work again.
That's right. That's right.
Even
Something is going
in the
on.
home of affairs are listening to me, they should have a change of mind. So that we in Nigeria, we stop complaining.
Mm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We stop complaining. Give us good roads, electricity, and good pipe-borne water for us to enjoy life in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So thank you very much, my dear.
Thank you very much, Amos Chuku, for calling me from Izagu this morning. Thank you for joining the program. You can also add your voice to the analysis this morning. Drop your views, your contributions, and your thoughts this morning. Remember to keep them clean, simple, and civil so we don't break any rules while we're trying to do the right thing. All right, could it be selective ignorance when it comes to doing what is right? I would expect an emergency meeting if I found out that a loaf of bread was worth more than 1,000 naira in my country. I'll be worried because 1,000 naira seems to be our highest denomination when it comes to money. Is it okay to tell people in the UK that if they wanted to buy a loaf of bread that they had to pay up to £100 to buy a loaf of bread? Are you telling the people in America that they have to pay $100 for a loaf of bread? And you are saying that with 1,000 naira in your hands in Nigeria, you cannot buy a loaf of bread. How are families feeding? How are families going to survive this Christmas? I saw a news where it said that the president had declared free travel buses to Nigerians from the 20th of December till January, a certain date in January. And I laughed. Why did I laugh? This would not be the first time that we have heard some wild wind promise being thrown around, especially at sensitive times like this, playing with the emotions of Nigerians, playing with the mental health of Nigerians, breaking their hearts. Good morning.
Hello, Mavis, I call back.
It's all right. You're welcome back.
Amos from Ezeg.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't finish my thought. This morning, I called one of the radio stations in Ebonyi State, and it's a state owns the radio station. Okay? So we are discussing about national grid collapse.
Yes.
And I made my position known to them, and I told them that it is because of lack of patriotism that made all these things happening here. Because year in year out, government budget money for power, but it's not reflective of what we see on the ground. Okay. And in a point here, you can agree with me, and I'm telling you authoritatively that electric poles that were laid during the administration of Sam Ego are still lying, without electricity on the wire. You have wires laid on them. Some of them have fallen, but they are not energized up to this moment as I'm talking to you now.
Okay.
But money have been budgeted for this project, and the coordinators and those in the authority, they go out there and they say that they have concluded the project. Right?
I hear you.
So this is what we see in Nigeria. They make out the budget money for project. Not even they say that they created the project, but actually, what we see on the ground is not reflective of what they go out to say on radio or newspapers. So it's very unfortunate that we see this in Nigeria, a giant of Africa. Okay. So God has blessed Nigeria to the extent that we are more blessed than America. We have all the resources to develop as a country. But it's because of bad leadership. That is why we are suffering in Nigeria. If you go to the market, everything is beyond the reach of a common man in Nigeria. Counter inflation. I don't know. It's a high time that the government should do something about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Amos. You can also send your comments and contributions via text or WhatsApp. To reach us this morning, call any of our numbers 0706 048 5853. You can also call 0915 570 8347. Good morning to you.
Hello.
I greet you.
Yeah, justice from above.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the president has given you people free rights from now to January.
How true? How true is that?
When you go back to your village, you'll be staying hungry.
Let the transport come first. Let the transport come. Will the transport happen? Have you heard anybody who has corroborated that news? You remember when they promised subsidized bags of rice for civil servants during the protests?
Didn't you get yours?
I did not receive mine. Oh, did you get?
Okay. Maybe they stored your phone now.
Yeah.
They stored it for you.
Okay, they are keeping it.
Would have finished it. So
okay.
They are helping you save it.
You would have told me on time now. Let me stop worrying because I cried very hard for heartbreak. I cried. I was heartbroken.
But maybe let's leave this people alone. Let them be doing as they like.
Really?
Yeah, we did. I want to
justice. Okay.
Of Atiku.
All right.
Atiku will end up bearing PDP.
I don't understand.
He will end up bearing PDP. Atiku should treat PDP. Atiku should support people. Support young people. He should see if PDP out this period, that is the death of. If they lose this time around, it is their death. And Atiku would have done his mission.
Really?
I think it's not enough that you rule Nigeria.
But If he really wants to rule Nigeria, can't he get into APC or something?
No, there's no chance for him there.
They won't let him.
Everywhere, no chance, no space for him.
They won't let him in.
When he left, he no, annoyingly he left. So everything about the things of things we are hidden from him. So
I think your line is breaking, Justice. Please, can you call me back? Something is happening with your line. It's breaking, it's distorted. Please call back, okay? Please, I'm expecting to hear from you. I like to hear this theory about Atiku. I don't know. He so wants to be president of Nigeria. Why? It's skeptic. This desperation is now worrisome. Why? What does he want to do? Why does he need to be president to do it? These men are rich. They're rich. They have power. They have access to anything and whomever. Why do they want to exercise this power excessism by being president? They so want it. They so desperately need to be. And not for the right reasons. And we, the electorate, we, the Nigerian people, do we have a standard for whom we want to be our president? Or we're just hoping for someone to come and save us? Because it doesn't seem like we care about who it is that we give all of this power to. Good morning.
Every good morning.
I greet you.
It's from Aban Road.
Good to hear from you, sir. How are you?
I'm really fine. Thank you. The man is it just the one that called just now?
Yes.
And they're asking why some of our leaders are desperate to become head of state.
Mm-hmm.
They are there. They want it because it is they want to make name and they want to loot the country. Let me tell you, ego at these ways. That's a problem to my being. My being is insatiable. The more they get money, the more they like it. I'm telling you, very few of them have the interest of this nation. Just like the current man, our president, who said, it's his turn. So he's not even talking about what to do for the country. He said, it is my turn. According to people who hear Yoruba, they say, Olamiko.
Emiloko. Emiloko.
I don't know Yoruba.
It's my turn.
It's my turn. So they want to do turn by turn. It's very, very unfortunate. That's not even my concern. My concern has to do with the one he said that inflation is rising high and that next year will be terrible. Mm-hmm. Yes. You're even talking about that 2024 will go down in history as one of the worst to say that is in the history of Nigeria. 2025, I don't want to be a prophet of doom. The 2025 does not have any, I don't know, except if God is happening.
What is the solution to this thing? Everybody's quiet about it. What is going to happen?
The solution is, if Tinubu can fix instead of floating our naira, that is number one solution. So that whatever available food we have, we can have money to buy it. Because the one we have presently, people from outside who have stronger currency, Nigeria, Chad, and the rest of them, even most of them bordering this northern region, they come down with a stronger currency. And any person who is selling now, somebody says you want to buy your food or maybe beans or rice with this franc because it's stronger than naira. Definitely you will say to that person, look at what the Niger State government say. Don't say don't come to our place and buy again. Don't say to the Niger people. The farmer listen to him, no. The farmer produces so that you make gain. Is it not true?
It's business, yes.
For example, if you see somewhere that they will pay you with dollars, will you still stay and be paid with naira that has no value? So that's where the problem comes in. Our farmers now resort to selling to outsiders who have stronger currency. That's number one. But another big problem is this issue of insecurity.
I don't know whether I told you what happened. Was it on Saturday at Amago? You heard it now.
No,
Hmm?
I didn't hear.
These people, they heard that they bought their rice farm, who is the terrible thing. You see
A rice farm.
Eh?
A rice farm.
Yes, they bought it. Yeah, that was on, I think I just Thursday or Friday.
That's
Last week.
unfortunate.
Yeah, so a very big hectares of rice farm were bought by this land because according to them,
How?
the
Why?
fire came from one of the bushes there, good fire. And these Fulani people, they like to burn the grass so that it will start growing to produce what their cattle will eat.
Oh, the fresh ones.
So they said now move and consume before this people could come on Sunday.
Oh my.
The whole of their rice farm was consumed. So this insecurity is one of the biggest problems. Insecurity and then this our currency that has no value. But insecurity will make it very difficult for people. Like I told you, my people will no longer go to farm. If that doesn't go by Agwebe, the whole thing has been taken over by the Fulani people. Nobody goes near there. You don't go near, not to talk of farming at all.
Are you people able to go home at least?
Huh?
Can you go home at least?
You can only go home and stay in your village now. Go for
No
Christmas.
farms.
Then you can go to the farm. The only farm you can do now in my town, just the one that is at their backyard.
That's right.
But the land is too small now. Where we get our plenty food is the one that is far, kilometers away from the house.
Oh dear.
You can't go there. The food, these people are quite these people are so large. If you come near, you see white, and those white are their cows.
Oh dear.
Then you run back. So insecurity is a very big problem. I was thinking that our own government should have forced people to establish their ranches so that we can go to our farm. It's a very big problem. To be frank, I don't know whether I told you that there was a time we were not buying anything from the market except salt. Now everything we are now taking food home. So there is nothing we can do other than to plead with government to establish. Now that they are coming up with state police, by God's grace, if those state police will be given mandates to go and secure our farm, that would be a very nice one. But if the establishment of the state police is just to bring them to the main road again and start collecting their normal something, it's not going to help any person. Thank you, Mavis. Let us support that start. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling. What a sad tale that you have told. I remember a colleague I once worked with. You know, we were having a conversation one morning, and then we mentioned about going to the village. And she's from the north, she's from the middle belt. And she pointed my attention to the fact that she doesn't have a village anymore. This was a few years ago when the Boko Haram were really doing their thing in the north. And she told me that her village had been run over by these people. Her village were one of the villages in Benue State that were taking over. You know, the ones that were taken and the flags mounted to say that they had taken over the communities. That's where my friend was from. And she told that story, and a few of us shed, you know, a bunch of tears in the office because this was real life, real people. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for calling back. Thank you.
Okay, I was saying then that Atiku, do you know the number of votes that PDP and Labour Party gathered?
Okay.
And both of them were members of PDP.
Okay.
Atiku and Obi were members of PDP.
Okay.
Do you know the number of votes they gathered if put together?
If put together,
it outweighs the vote that APC gathered.
Of course.
So
over 60%.
Do you see how Atiku led Wike out of PDP? It was Atiku that led Wike out of PDP, that made Wike leave PDP. And you know when Wike was the darling then, and you know that Wike then commands a lot of respect. And Atiku never leveraged on that. All he wanted was his personal and selfish interest. I am telling you that if Atiku does not rescind his decision now of vying for Nigerian president,
Yeah.
PDP is as dead as anything.
So there is no way that the PDP can not give that mandate to Atiku coming
How can
next
they give
election.
him I mean, this guy has succeeded. This guy has been in this system for years.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that Atiku was a presidential candidate during the 1993 election?
Oh, he's been in the game long time. He's been in the game long time.
Then. The same Atiku was a presidential candidate back then, while we were still in secondary school.
Oh yeah, from his days in the army and now on all.
And up to now, Atiku is still contesting for Nigerian presidency after having a shot.
Oh yeah, he had a shot at the vice presidency.
You are not even satisfied with all the money you gathered from you gathered from customs, making you the richest custom man officer that has ever left office. He's the richest. Yet Atiku does not know what God has done to him. He still wants to be Nigerian president. And I bet you the cabals will never allow him be such. They will never. You are the one who destroyed PDP. You gave the mandate out. You sold PDP out to APC. You are the one. It was Atiku revolt that caused the PDP, the 9 PDP governors. It was Atiku investigation that brought all those things. So Atiku should leave PDP alone. They did not bury his what is it called? What is it called? This thing that what is it called? They did not bury it in PDP. He should leave this. If people do not want to talk to him now, PDP will regret it later, because at the next election, I bet you PDP will not only be dead, but PDP will be buried.
All right, Justice, thank you for calling me.
I think we should learn his lesson and leave these guys alone. Let there be these guys should return. Obi should return to PDP. Let Wike and all of them galvanize support.
Obi should return to PDP. Wow, I wish I could take the poll right now. This is an important poll.
Wike is not even proud of that party, APC.
So
that is why he's still in PDP. How can you be in another party and be controlling another party?
Or maybe there's a reason why he's, has one leg there, one leg on the other side.
Wike is not in APC. Wike is a carried member of PDP. He's just in APC for formalities. Wike is going to contest the next election.
All right. Thank you so much for calling me. Have a great day ahead. All right. Maybe sometime in the week we will try to do a poll and find out what's going on with the APC and the PDP and all of these controversies that's been raised right now. This is where we will come to the end of the show this morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Everyone who's live with me on YouTube, thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and share. And everyone who tried to call in and everyone who was able to call in, I had a wonderful time talking to you this morning. Let's do this again tomorrow. All right? I am Mavis Atadume. Do have a good morning. Thank you.